Islam is a religion of peace, justice, mercy, and humanity. Every verse of the Quran echoes the call to righteousness, fairness, patience, and compassion. The life of the Prophet Muhammad is a shining example of mercy, forgiveness, and unmatched moral character. Yet, despite its beautiful teachings, Islam has been deliberately and systematically defamed across the globe. So the question arises, who is really behind this campaign to malign Islam? There are multiple forces responsible for defaming Islam, and we can broadly categorize them into four main groups. 1. Western colonial powers. When the West experienced the Industrial Revolution, it also began a global colonial campaign. At that time, the greatest resistance to their expansion came from the Islamic world, particularly the Ottoman Caliphate. To weaken and eventually destroy Islamic governance and influence, the colonialists didn't just fight military wars, they launched a war of ideas. They portrayed Islamic rule as oppressive and backward. They labeled Sharia law as barbaric. They depicted Islamic civilization as primitive and regressive. Colonial powers redesigned education systems, media, and legal institutions in the Muslim world to align with their ideologies and to detach Muslims from their history, identity, and religion. They wanted to create Muslims in name, but empty of Islamic values. 2. Anti-Islamic media. The global media has played one of the most destructive roles in defaming Islam. From international news agencies to Hollywood, Islam is consistently portrayed negatively. Jihad is equated with terrorism. Hijab and modesty are labeled as oppression. Islamic teachings are branded as extremist. Whenever a violent act is committed by a Muslim individual or group, the headlines scream Islamic terrorism. But if a non-Muslim commits the same act, they are simply called mentally ill or a lone wolf. This double standard is intentional, aimed at vilifying Islam in the minds of the masses. 3. Hypocritical Muslim rulers and corrupt scholars. Unfortunately, a major part of the damage has also come from within the Muslim world itself. Many so-called Muslim rulers today operate under the influence of Western powers, placing wealth and power above their faith and principles. They have abolished Islamic laws in favor of Western systems. They brand Sharia as outdated. They silence sincere Islamic voices that call for justice and truth. Similarly, some so-called scholars have sold their religion for personal gain. They twist and manipulate Islamic teachings to suit rulers or please audiences, confusing the people and misleading the youth. The Prophet Muhammad warned, "The worst of scholars are those who serve the doors of tyrants." These internal betrayers help push the agenda of the enemies of Islam. 4. Terrorist groups and extremist elements. Another group that has greatly harmed the image of Islam are violent groups that falsely claim to represent Islam, such as Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, some factions of the Taliban, and other radical outfits. These groups carry out massacres, bombings, and horrific violence, often in the name of jihad. But their actions directly contradict the peaceful teachings of Islam. They target innocent civilians. They destroy the very lands they claim to protect. They give the media easy material to call Islam a religion of violence. Their crimes have nothing to do with true Islam, yet the global media connects their evil directly to our religion. The true face of Islam. The reality is, Islam is a complete way of life that promotes peace, mercy, justice, equality, and human dignity. The Prophet said, "A Muslim is the one from whose tongue and hands other people are safe." Sahih Bukhari. The Quran says, "Whoever kills a person unjustly, it is as if he has killed all of mankind." Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:32. Islam freed slaves, honored women, protected orphans, and made rulers accountable to their people. No other system offers such complete balance between individual rights and community responsibilities. What should we do now? In this era of propaganda and confusion, every Muslim has a duty to protect and represent the true message of Islam. 1. Gain knowledge and share it with others. 2. Live Islam through your character and actions. 3. Use media wisely to counter false narratives. 4. Speak out against terrorism and injustice. 5. Promote the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah with wisdom and love. Conclusion. The defamation of Islam is a result of both external enemies and internal betrayal. Enemies want to make Muslims ashamed of their faith, but we must respond with clarity, strength, and confidence. Islam is not a religion of violence, it is a religion of guidance, mercy, and light. We must expose the lies and stand up for the truth, proudly and fearlessly. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This is our honor, this is our identity.